back to another episode on my channel. Of course, it's still your girlfriend Tola. In my last video, I spoke about the Champions League. The league phase officially starting this week, and yeah, some of the results have been probably up to expectations. Some has been off. Some, I think, my predictions have been right. But obviously, I'm going to be starting off with the matches that happened on Tuesday. And it's Arsenal having a 2-0 win over Athletic Club. I've always said it, they don't have good records against Premier League, so obviously I wasn't surprised that the result was 2-0 win for Arsenal in that one. But I think one of the big surprise for me was Union St. defeating Eindhoven. I feel like Eindhoven has more Champions League record than Union St. Gilles, and for them to lose at home, it was a big disappointment. But then again, it's just the first game of the Champions League phase, so most times I don't really look into the first game results. Subsequently, you can then start to question their style of play, the results, and maybe if they could play better, if the coach can set up better. But that one for me was a huge disappointment. And then the next game was Juventus against Borussia Dortmund. I knew it was going to be a game that would have a lot of goals. Looking at how both of them have played in their own respective leagues, I'm not surprised that it's a 4-4 draw between both sides. But I do think that they can do better defensively. But that's what you expect from a team that has, performed well when it comes to the Champions League. So yes, I'm not surprised, but it was an interesting match, I must say so. One for me, which, yes, I'm a bit disappointed, is Real Madrid against Marseille. Yes, they did win. But I feel like the way they went about the game, it wasn't so good. You can speak about the officiating a little bit, but Real Madrid that has had so many years experience in playing in the Champions League, you don't want to be starting off your game like that. They didn't do well in the last Champions League, and so seeing them manage, even struggle to get a 2-1 win in this one against Marseille, I do believe that Marseille gave them a hard time. But then again, you would expect them to do result. They actually had to get the result with 2 penalties. And so I still feel like there's a lot for Xabi Alonso to do with the squad, but they got the result, and that's what is needed. And then on Wednesday, you saw how Bayern Munich were able to show their Champions League experience over Chelsea. I feel like the setup from Enzo Maresca was a little bit lackadaisical, especially when it comes to the defensive part of it. I'm not surprised, I would say, because they've struggled a bit, when it comes to defending. I'm talking of Chelsea. They've not done so well. Looking even at the games in the Premier League, they've struggled to be able to defend properly. But when you're playing against a Bayern Munich side that is good when it comes to scoring a lot of goals, you want to do better. But I think the good thing from that game was the fact that Cole Palmer was able to get a goal. And I think we are seeing him come back to himself, scoring goals again, unlike even before the start of the Premier League, he has struggled to, get goals, assists. But he's now doing that again, and I think that's the positive side of the game. But a lot is to be questioned, especially about the officiating. I've seen that happened in 2 games and 2 big games, and you want to improve on that. You can't allow that keep on happening, especially in big matches in the Champions League. The officiating should be better than that. But aside from that, I think Chelsea still has a lot of work to do. Their main player, Cole Will, is out of the better most of the season, so there's still a lot of things to be done about the team. But moving away from that, we saw how Inter Milan got back to winning ways, beating Ajax 2-0 away from home. Also, Liverpool struggled to be able to get 3-2 win against Atletico Madrid. But I don't know what it is with Liverpool struggling defensively. And yes, it started happening from the end of last season, but you would expect them to do better. Virgil van Dijk is still their captain, he's still the person at the back, but you can tell they are really, really struggling, defensively. And hopefully their coach Arne Slot can get them playing, better defensively. But I'm not so impressed. I'm not even really impressed about them yet. Yes, they're getting the result, but there's still a lot to question. And then the last game on Wednesday was obviously PSG, defending champions, beating Atalanta out of the park. It's a 4-0 win for them at home. Am I surprised? I don't think so. But yes, it's Paris Saint-Germain. They want to keep up that defending champion picture, right? So definitely I'm impressed with their game. But those are the games that have happened in the last 2 days, and definitely the Champions League phase match day 1 still continues today, Thursday. And I think one game definitely I'll just look out for is Manchester City against Napoli. That's going to be a very interesting one because Napoli are champions of Serie A, but Man City have not done so well this season. I want to believe that they should be prepared for it, but they will have one of their nemesis playing against them, and that's Kevin De Bruyne. He's going to give them a hard time. He is going to give them he knows how to play. And yes, he's been one of their players, but I hope they are prepared to face him and to get the result that is obviously needed. But yes, that's much I'll be talking about on the show today. Obviously, don't forget to share your thoughts on some of the results that I've spoken about today in the comment section. Don't forget to like, also share with your loved ones, share with your enemy. In fact, that is what we need on this channel, right? Please do share. We really appreciate it. And also don't forget to put on your post notification button and subscribe. We are still on 1,000. We are still looking for it, and it's only you guys that can do it, right? I trust you guys and I love you guys so much. Anyways, as I said, don't forget to share in the comment section. I will be reading, but also don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and even Instagram at _official FSH. I'll be ready from you. Enjoy the rest of the day.